Planning to talk to Lotta-Maj Lahtinen.
And, after the blizzards that we've been going through here in the South, nobody breaks it down better than someone from Finland. So what's that like in the ATL when you hear, hey, watch out.
Oh, we're going to have snow.
Winter blast 22. What are we doing in Atlanta when you hear that?
Yeah, I'm just going with the flow. We're just going to go with it.
I mean, you almost have to laugh, though, don't you? I mean, how we just panic in the South. I mean, it's kind of sad in some respects, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just a cultural difference. I mean, we have wheels and cars, and all the machines are just used to there always being snow. Like, nothing can be shut because of snow, because there's always snow. So I just think it's just a difference here. The climate is different, and so people have to be prepared. So I get it. It's normal.
All right. First of all, congratulations on 1,000 points. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Achieved that in the win over Carolina. You guys are playing great. You're 14th, highest the program's been. I mean, this has got to be fun, but I know there's been a process to all this. And Nell is such a good coach. And you guys play really, really great defense, Lotta-Maj. But now we're talking about real stuff here. I mean, we're talking about a team that had some success last year, obviously had it in the postseason, and you're back again and trying to do it again. There's got to be some sense of, hey, we're supposed to be here type thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is. I think last year all of us were first-timers in the March Madness tournament, and so making the Sweet 16, I think, just showed us that what we can do, and especially this year, then putting the work in even more and just knowing what we need to do to get there. And we're not done. I feel like last year it was a kind of a close game with South Carolina to a point where I think we competed with them well and could have had the game. So that just gave us the confidence of like, hey, we can do this. We can beat anybody in this country. So we're just getting started, honestly.
Wes gave you a shout out for scoring 1,000. Everybody likes to talk offense, but the thing that's been so impressive about your team is playing defense. And what you did in your last effort against North Carolina, who's a really talented team who can score, holding them under 40. It's the 5th time you've been able to do that this year, just shutting somebody down. I just think big picture, defense always travels. And the way you guys are playing, holy mackerel. I mean, you just almost get a sense of, hey, if we get to 45 points, it's a W. Let's move. I mean, that's a good feeling when you're playing great team basketball like that.
Yeah, I think we just rep it a lot, and we just practice it a lot and focus on it, emphasize it in practice and in preseason especially. And even though we are that good right now, we still work on it and still try to get better at it. And I think that just carries over. We definitely think that's one of our strengths, and we want to build on it. We played very well together with it and gritty, so that's where it comes from.
Is it one of those things where it's a mindset now? It's almost like a standard, not an expectation?
Yeah, I mean, I would say both. It's definitely a standard too, but we want to keep our opponents to under 45 points, and we want to score first in games. Don't want to let our opponents score. So I just think it comes from those little things, and then just really being locked in on the games and being locked in on the defensive end.
We think about the league right now with Louisville and NC State kind of being those teams that could be Final Four teams. How close is that margin with where you are right now versus what we perceive to be the elite teams, not even within this league, but around the country?
I think we're there. Of course, there's always things to work on, and those two teams are really great teams. There's no question about that. We did play Louisville to a one-point game in the beginning of the conference season, so that also showed us that we can beat them, and we can beat the highest-ranked teams in our conference as well. So I think we can compete with them. I think we can be in the Final Four. We just have to keep up the same defense we've been doing and work on our offense even more to get there.
All right. Georgia Tech's one of these unbelievable international institutions, right? I mean, research, technology. It's a worldwide thing. Nowhere is that captured more than the women's basketball roster. I mean, there's you, there's Lorella, there's Hermosa, there's Digna. I mean, what's going on now? I mean, you guys, is it compare and contrast notes here? I mean, there is that kind of culture of connectivity about this team from a world perspective I do find fascinating, Lotta-Maj.
Yeah, I think that's one of our strengths as well. We're very versatile, and every player in our team, all 13 of us, brings something different. And since we're from Europe, me and Lorella, the seniors now, I think we just knew people and knew Digna before. And so I think it's just a very good combination of both the U.S. players and the international players. And I think we just click together very well. And I think that shows in our defense first and foremost, but also like on and off the court and how we are with each other and also the coaching staff.
Now, I remember the last time we had you on, when you made your debut. I was giving you a hard time. We talked about food and cuisine
Yeah,
in
we
Atlanta.
did.
And I think
it was
I
good,
brought
I knew
up,
this
if I'm
was
not-
coming.
All right. I remember it. Now, again, we've done a bunch of interviews, but I remember talking to you about, I love those meatballs at IKEA, right? And can you find anything in Atlanta?
Really?
I did bring this up, and you laughed and said, well, it's kind of difficult. But so since the last time we spoke with you, have we picked up our game in the Atlanta cuisine market in terms of finding some food that kind of reminds you of home, or are we still stuck with IKEA meatballs?
Yeah, I still have to find a better place. It's for sure. I haven't really been to IKEA that much myself, but maybe I'll have to start one of my own at some point. Seems like it.
Let me just say, Lotta-Maj, this world of name, image, and likeness, and your football coach over there, he's always thinking out of the box with entrepreneurship. That's a strength over there at Georgia Tech. There may be an opportunity that you just kind of stumble into an incredible bag of cash with this deal.
Yeah.
Atlanta
You're right.
maybe just got the itch for, hey, what is the food of Finland, and let's let it rip. You never know. I know you're busy with study because you can't cut corners at Georgia Tech. I know you're rocking on the hoops, but I'm just saying there may be an opportunity for you there.
I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind for sure. Just
Yeah.
subscribe and comment.
You come on here, you're sweet enough to come on and talk basketball with us, and Packer goes down the road about meatballs and food at IKEA.
Well,
bless her
student
heart.
athletes, listen, this is not like you living in a mobile home at Elon.
Well, that's true.
The
They got
student
real world in
athletes
Atlanta.
Are a lot smarter than we were when we were in school. Everybody's got an opportunity to, it's a new world out there, man. You got to create stuff.
There's no question.
What
All
you
right.
do.
I want to jump ahead here, and this is hard to do as a player because I know it's focus and it's game to game. There's a scenario where this league is really good, and you know that. And I think Louisville, all these teams are. So you got to keep game to game focus. We can afford to look ahead, but do you peek a little bit at what might be and how good the rest of this league is, Lotta-Maj?
I mean, obviously, I think this league can be very good, and I think it is right now, too. Like you said, personally, I just like to go one step at a time. I know our team does, too, and I think that's the best way to go. Just look at the next game, focus on the next opponent, because at the same time, there's no easy opponents in this league at all.
Right.
None of the 15 teams. You have to focus on every game, and I think that's the only way that you get to the Final Four and to the end, to just focus on right now, because if you don't, you just get overwhelmed, especially with everything else too, like school and starting a restaurant and all that stuff. You just have to focus on one game at a time.
You know what? Georgia Tech basketball is in great shape. You know why? Because just give this a thought a second. Lotta-Maj doesn't really know us from the man on the moon. All right, that's number one.
Well, she knew me well enough to say that it was my 25th birthday.
I get that, but
yesterday,
for
so
the
that
most
was
part,
very sweet.
we have a
It was very kind.
We have a student athlete
Right.
on national television with a fire alarm going off,
Yeah.
and doesn't really know us from a man on the moon, and there was no panic, and that just watching you and all that was going off, Lotta-Maj told me everything I need to know. That was like, hey, I got this. There's no need to panic, and to me, just reading you during that segment. It's just like, hey, piece of cake, man. Let's go. Next play. And to me, that's leadership, that's experience, and that is, hey, these two morons are talking hoops and IKEA meatballs with me. This is child's play compared to what I'm going to see in ACC women's basketball. So that told me everything I need to know about you and your team. Defense matters. We're here to play. We're going to win games, and we got a chance to win the whole deal. That's what I know about it. That's what I read.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have one final thing here. I think it was about a week or so ago, you guys got a nice win, and all of a sudden I saw video of Nell getting in a cold tub. What in the world? What in the world is left after you make the head coach get in a cold tub after a win? I mean, what other things does she wager with you guys based on performance and result, I guess?
I think we're going to find that out. We're really creative, and yeah, it was the beginning of the conference, and she's a woman of her words. She said she's ready to go to the cold tub after a dub. So I guess now, like, we're going to figure something else out. There's a lot of season left and big games to win, so have to come up with something else as well. Who knows?
All right, so being one of the more veteran players, more accomplished and decorated players, are you and Kubai in charge of this, or is there some other department on the team that is in charge of whatever the cost is of a win?
We don't kiss and tell. Maybe it's a team effort.
I love it. Oh, my God.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right.
On top of it, hey, good luck with that little food project there on the side.
Yeah,
all
way
right?
to go, Lotta-Maj.
Let me know when that thing's ready to
Yeah,
open up.
sure.
We'll promote it like
Yeah,
crazy.
you should come visit.
No,
All right, thank
yeah.
you.
I'm in.
Lotta-Maj
You kidding?
Lahtinen, fantastic player. Always fun to visit with her. Thanks. Be well, okay? Take care.
Thank you. You too.
You bet.